This is a personal message to my wife. If you're watching, please don't drive explain me. Let me do my job, okay?
Wait, not
There's
the best
more?
part yet. Not
There's
the
more?
best part yet.
We told you it's all linked. Okay, this show is not some flaky, random ass show. Do you think Singaporeans like complaining about the budget, regardless of what it is? What's going on, everyone? Thanks a lot for joining us on another episode of the Mothership podcast with me, Rishi Budhrani. So, if you're new to the show, I'm a stand-up comedian in Singapore, and part of my work is to keep abreast of the latest news, because that's one of the places I get my material. Somehow, I've managed to convince the Mothership team to give me access once a week to some of the top news stories as told by one of their reporters. Okay, and the best part is, they're paying for this entire thing. And I'm going to alienate half the audience here. They've got a Liverpool scarf right there, everyone. Okay, so make what you will of that. The reporter I'm with today is Hannah. What's up, Hannah?
Hi, I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm doing okay. You seem to have been working really hard on some of the top news stories. And you have some for me today.
I do. Are you ready to take a little nibble into them?
Give me the nibble. That's a weird way to say it. Okay, yeah,
All
let's
right.
take a nibble. Go.
So, a 36-year-old Singaporean man was charged for biting a man's ear during a fight on PIE, and flesh was allegedly left behind on the road. So that's a little taste for you.
That's it's not the breakfast I was hoping to figure out, but so he he bit his ear.
He did not eat a ear, but apparently a 36-year-old man is accused of biting off part of a man's ear after a road rage incident on the PIE. So according to testimonies in court, this man, Ronald Cole, was riding a motorcycle while a father and son duo was traveling in a car, and the father was driving. So the son and Cole apparently started arguing over lane cutting. There was some honking, there was some gesturing, and then they both pulled over, and then it escalated into a physical altercation, and during the scuffle, the motorcyclist Cole apparently chewed down on the son's ear and hit the father. And wait, not
There's
the best
more?
part yet. Not
There's
the
more?
best part yet.
Okay,
So
Hannah,
during
go.
the trial, Cole said that his eyes was covered during the scuffle, and he described having appendages pushed into his mouth, and that he bit down on everything unknowingly.
Okay, well, that was excellent. I was hoping to hear the news, not a radio play, Hannah, but well done for acting out that entire thing.
Like right hook here and a little
So
nom
much,
nom.
so much information and so many questions right there. But first of all, no hate right here, but why do all these things only happen on the PIE? You know, I mean, I travel on the ECP all the time. The ECP seems to be a more cultured highway.
I think because it's next to the sea. It's this vibe of just water and like the hope of leaving the country. Because you're usually traveling to Changi Airport when you're on the ECP.
Well, I'm an East Sider, and you know what they say about the East Side, right? East Side, best side.
Oh, I'm a new East Side citizen.
There you go. Welcome to town. But I think the ECP is just a bit calmer in
Yeah,
general, right?
usually.
PIE, because you're literally traveling pan island across the island, and I think people are just, maybe a little more angsty.
Faster to go home, faster to go to work. They're just trying to get somewhere, I guess.
This seems like a very dangerous situation. I don't know if you are old enough to remember the Tyson fight with Holyfield. Okay, you're not old enough to remember. Whoever is listening or watching, this seems to be, there was back in the day, there was a fight between Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson, two boxers, and Tyson bit this guy's ear. Right.
But did he have bits of it allegedly found on the side of the ring?
I'm quite sure this wasn't on the PIE. This was pretty far away from the Pan Island Expressway. But so many worrying things. Road rage is a big problem, Sometimes I feel like we've seen so much of these issues go on in the country. But I do have a question. You said the son had his ear bitten, part of his ear bitten. Did he go to the hearing with one ear eventually? Did he? Okay, never mind. No, maybe not. Not a fair question. Sorry to those who had your ears bitten off before. I apologize. It's not meant to offend you.
No,
right?
But to be fair, at least he found the piece of flesh on the road, and they managed to wrap it up in a tissue and bring it to them to the hospital. So
Because how else would you do it?
I don't know. I didn't think I would be able to find it. I would have just made peace with the fact that I'm like, okay, part of my ear is gone. I will have to move on with life.
Tissue was. This is so sad, Imagine someone bites off your ear and you're like, hey, hello, borrow tissue paper. Can I borrow tissue? I want to pack my ear. Oh, man, so sad. Well, okay, so Is it true that this man also represented himself in court? Because I
Yes, it
read
is.
something vaguely about that.
Yep.
He did?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think? So his lawyers just gave up on him? Because he seems to be a regular in these assault and harassment issues.
Sometimes I don't think it's just like the lawyers give up. Maybe he just feels confident with himself. You know, that kind of confidence can inspire people. And he's like, I can represent myself in this case. Maybe I can do anything.
Well, I'm gonna. This is a public service announcement. If you end up in like road rage situations, first of all, try to avoid it.
Yeah, no.
And if you do end up in some kind of altercation, stay away from the ear. You know, I mean, it's a very sensitive part of the body.
Or other appendages that might come close to your mouth.
What do they mean? You appendages. Give me an example of appendages.
I would think of fingers as appendage.
Okay.
So like, you know, I would think like when you fighting, you would bite on a hand. That makes more sense than a ear. So I'm thinking about like fingers. I don't know what other appendages you are thinking of.
I don't know what kind of fights you've been in, Hannah, but
Not a lot.
I don't know why.
None.
First line of defense is I'm gonna bite this fella's hand. Again, this feels very Luis Suarez, right? Shout out to Liverpool, old team right there. Okay, football fans in the house. No, thanks for sharing that. But yeah, so if you are in such situations, we highly recommend you don't do any nibbling or biting.
No.
Yeah, don't do that. Not. It's not very becoming of Singapore citizens.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe we should find out like the cause for road rage, right? Like maybe we need to be more courteous as drivers on the road because I do feel like it's such a big problem in Singapore.
Yeah, I do feel that. I mean, I've been driving for a long time, Hannah.
Sorry, I don't drive. I'm a certified passenger princess, and I can just gladly judge people from the side. It's like, I could have driven better than you if I take a license.
What actually? Okay, well, I'm not gonna make this about gender or age or whatever, but I'll just tell you my experience with my wife, who doesn't have a driver's license, but gives me a lot of advice on the road from the passenger seat.
Oh, I like to say I don't passenger seat drive.
No?
No, I'll just be like, hey, that guy's trying to cut your lane. Like, that guy is doing some shady stuff. If not, like, I was like,
That's kind of passenger seat driving. I mean, it's kind of like,
But I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just like,
you're
agreeing.
You're drive splaining.
Yeah, I'm drive splaining probably. Yeah.
I think you should stop. Don't drive splain. Don't drive splain, okay? This is a personal message to my wife if you're watching. Please don't drive splain me. Let me do my job, okay? What else do we have on the news?
So, going from road rage, actually, we're going to move towards autonomous vehicles now. And in a 2025 survey conducted by NTUC, 1 in 3 public transport workers are concerned over autonomous vehicles' impacts on their jobs. And their main concern has been job security. And then the next one after that is like a drop in pay. So, and apparently the government is planning to launch 6 autonomous vehicles from mid-2026 on services 400, which is around the Marina Bay area, and 191, which is one north, for initial 3 years pilot operating alongside existing manned buses.
So autonomous buses, that means no bus captain.
Usually there is no bus captain, but I remember reading that there's like a safety officer on board. So if anything happened, there's always someone there that might be able to stop anything from happening.
Would you feel safer in an autonomous vehicle? No driver, only safety officer? I mean, I'm struggling to find a difference because you still have to pay someone, right? So if you're kind of...
And I should hope that the safety officer should be able to drive the bus.
Yeah,
it's going to be in like a issue of speed again, or of like just someone just...
I mean, it's just a safety officer drive-splaining the bus. Like, hey, hello, hey, no, hey, hello, what problem? Okay, move properly. Here's the thing, this is again the discussion of human versus artificial intelligence, or AVs in this case, right? Autonomous vehicles. I personally think there are some jobs that simply cannot be done by machines alone.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think, driving the bus, to me is one of them.
Yeah.
Because even if you can kind of get the route right, the speed right, there is a human element, especially in Singapore, because who's going to mediate the fights between the passengers, right? I mean, you think that lady who's been putting her leg on the bus seats is going to stop? No. You need the bus captain to come back and, say, hello, we need to get to the next destination. This is a human element thing that the AVs cannot handle.
Maybe that's a new job opportunity that can come up.
Yeah.
Bus mediation. It's like someone's like, there's some people fighting over a seat. It's like this guy's there, it's like, wait, let me hear both sides and I'll decide who gets it. It's like a judge. It's a bus judge.
So instead of is this from the Community Mediation Center, but is the Transport Mediation Center?
Now is that, yeah.
Yeah.
It could be something, because I'm thinking that these safety officers not only have to be able to drive the bus, they have to know how to operate an autonomous vehicle as well. So there's definitely some like upskill element that is needed for bus drivers, and that's probably another concern as well, where older workers may not have access to such upskilling courses, or they may not have the time or anything like that. So yeah.
I think they would be worried. Yeah. I mean, as a passenger, even if I was sitting, I'll be a bit. At least there will be an initial apprehension. Like, where no bus driver?
And it's moving by itself.
Yeah.
Sounds like a horror movie to some.
Who's going to manage this? Okay, but anyway, thanks for that story. We will keep you. I don't know. We'll tell you what happens next in that whole situation. But I think this week one of the biggest things that the country was talking about was budget 2026.
Yeah, I think it's like a really big thing to just keep an ear out for, because you're either looking out for what benefits you or what benefits your household.
So tell me, what for you, Hannah, were some of the standout portions of budget 2026?
I think for budget 2026, we didn't get a new task force, we didn't get a new committee. We got a national AI council.
A council?
Yeah. So Singapore is going to establish a national AI council with Prime Minister Lawrence Wong as a chair.
Wait. So PM Wong announced that he will be the chair?
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
He's like, I'm
going to chair this council
that I'm going to chair. Okay,
and
cool.
He has 6 other friends with him. So we have
6 other friends. You make it sound like, hey, I mean, these are political office holders.
But they're like colleagues. I would assume that you're friends with your colleagues, right?
Yeah, but it's not like he called up like, hey, Sarah. Yeah, I know we haven't spoken in a while, but I'm starting this council. You don't mind? You want to come and join?
You wanna? Let's go. But yeah.
Council chairman. Prime Minister is now council chairman. What council? AI Council. National AI Council.
Along with Gan Kim Yong, Josephine Teo, Chee Hong Tat, Ong Yi Kang, Tan Si Ling, and Acting Minister Jeffrey Xiao.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of people on one council.
7.
Yeah.
Lucky number.
Okay.
What
does this council hope to do?
So it is going to provide strategic direction and drive Singapore's AI agenda. And in his speech, Prime Minister Wong said that Singapore's advantage when it comes to AI comes in deploying AI effectively, responsibly and
at speed. Singapore can be a trusted hub where companies and researchers come together to develop, test, and deploy impactful AI solutions, and do so faster and more coherently than many larger countries.
So this is kind of an initiative to get ahead of the curve a little bit.
A bit, because everyone's still trying to figure out what AI does and the impacts that it will have and how it can benefit everyone from like the individual to a large company. And a lot of it is always about productivity and efficiency. So we're looking at leveling up using AI. So I think the governments for them would be trying to get a leg up and do it quickly as well.
And I'm also reading that they're talking about missions.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, council and missions, it just seems like a very Space Force kind of vibe going here.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a deviation from like the usual comfort words of task force. So it's going to be pretty interesting because like these missions, I was going to almost do air quotes, but they're not air quotes, they're literal missions. And it's like part of this is to push for Singaporeans to adopt AI. So they will launch programs to support firms with ambitions to use AI comprehensively in their business and expand existing schemes. And for individuals, if you're interested and you take up selected AI training course, you get 6 months of free access to premium AI tools.
Man!
You can chat GPT a lot of things for 6 months.
As an unemployed comedian, I don't know which part of this I can use, but I'll figure it out eventually, I hope. It's interesting that the administration feels strongly enough about the uptake of AI or the importance of the uptake of AI in society to create a special council for it. And I think that's pretty noteworthy.
I think it's like, in a way, because they're also offering it to individuals, they know that is a good way for them to upskill as well. So they're not forgetting or thinking that AI will be replacing people in a sense. They're already giving Singaporeans a chance to equip themselves to better themselves and upskill as the government's always pushing for, if you think about it that way.
As a young person, a young working adult in this country, what is your first instinct on whether or not this will be a successful mission?
Oh, mission success, sorry. That's all that came into my head.
Mission.
It's like it's flashing across the screen now in like
this
pixelated
is a
words.
deliberate choice of words, Hannah.
What would make it successful? I don't lose my job.
Yeah.
Just saying, I still have my job, but it's probably helping me be more efficient in paperwork. So I think my productivity doesn't dip because I know people think a journalist AI is going to take over my job because they're going to write the article for me, or I'm just going to use AI to write an article, which is not true. That's not what we would want to use AI for. I don't want to use it for that as well. I want it to help me schedule my work. Because I put it into the ChatGPT and it comes up with my to-do list. And it prioritizes for me, it schedules for me, but does not write my work.
And I think PM Wong did mention that a little bit, right? Like say, artificial intelligence is a tool, right? It is something that should be kind of supplementing your main, like it can't be the main quest. It's kind of got to be the side quest, so to speak, right? It's supposed to help you become better.
Yeah, it's not supposed to do the work for you.
And here's an interesting angle that I read about, because as a creative myself, right? So, I mean, there's been discussions about, can AI write your entire movie for you, or your entire script, or in this case, your entire news report for you? And one of the things that came up was that by definition, AI, if they were to do that, they would kind of take the median or the average, the aggregate of all the available data. And by definition, that would be median, like
the middle,
average. You may not get something special or out of the box or super creative. And maybe that's why some of our jobs may be safe for a while longer.
Because we're all special.
A bit, right? Look at us. This is called us setting up our own council and patting ourselves on the back. Like,
it's like, we are very special. We are good. We're doing a good job.
We're gonna do this ourselves. Very good. Okay, what else stood out for you in the budget announcement?
Another thing that stood out that was pretty interesting is that Singapore will raise its local qualifying salary for full-time local employees from 1,600 to 1,800. Now you might be thinking, why does this matter? And it matters for firms who are looking to hire foreign workers that are on work permit, S-Pass or employment pass, and they have to meet two conditions. They must pay local employees the progressive wage model wages, or if their sector is not covered by the progressive wage model, then they must pay all local employees at least the local qualifying salary. So that means now they would have to pay them $1,800.
Okay, so talk me through this, Hannah. I'm aware that we don't have a specific minimum wage for work in Singapore. So is this an equivalent, or is it completely not? Maybe what are we expecting this to help do?
So what this is, we're expecting it to help do is to stop companies from hiring Singaporeans and giving them like a token salary to increase the number of foreign workers that they can hire. So now, let me give you an example. I can break it down for you. So if you are running a business in a manufacturing sector and you need 10 staff, you must at least have 4 local employees in that business, and they must be paid right now at least $1,800 each in order for you to try to hire the remaining 6 foreigners you need. So previously, the local staff would only have to be paid $1,600. So it is more so that companies stop paying the Singaporeans like a token sum.
Okay, so it is to prevent the abuse of the system, to kind of skim off the top a little bit, and maybe I can have, to build on your example, sometimes I can have a Singaporean who's not really working for the business, but I just put them on some kind of CPF payroll. To make it seem like they're part of the business, so that I can hire
more foreigners.
6 foreigners to do the job at a lower wage than that. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So now that the aim of doing this is to kind of reduce or discourage that.
Yes. And people are probably concerned about Singaporean jobs as well, because like job security is a big thing for a lot of Singaporeans. So they're probably wondering how the government's helping to protect them. And one way that they are doing it is making changes to the minimum qualifying salary for employment pass and S-Pass.
Okay. So this is a different thing we're talking about, right? So the lowest qualifying salary is more for the lower wage workers. And for companies to not abuse that whole system right there. But now we're talking about actual potential jobs that Singaporeans are fighting for
Mhm.
with people from outside of the country.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the employment pass, the minimum qualifying salary has now been raised from $5,600 to $6,000. And if you're in the finance sector, it goes from $6,200 to $6,400. So there's that increase, that bump that is making it a little bit more expensive
To hire a foreigner.
hire a foreigner. Then this would also make business owners and employers think aside. Maybe we can get a Singaporean who can do the same job and just hire locally from here.
Right. Okay. So that means, well, so to speak, like if I was thinking of getting this person, I better be really sure that I need this this worker to come in from abroad, because now I'm going to have to pay him or her that much more.
Yeah. It's basically making it more expensive for firms to hire foreign workers. And it's encouraging Singaporean businesses to hire local, because we do have, we love Singapore, right? Singaporean workers are great. That's silence,
as someone
okay.
who's been unemployed for the past 15 years, I don't know, man. You got to ask the business. I'm not sure. Okay, good.
Maybe this could be your pitch. You're like, you can hire me.
It's okay. I like being unemployed. sorry. I like being unemployed is not the correct word. Self-employed.
Yes, you are self-employed. You're not really unemployed.
Right. It's just, it's the same as you don't say you don't say like old clothes. You say pre-loved.
Pre-loved, yes.
So I'm pre-loved.
And if you want to look at it this way, no one calls it fun. No one calls it unemployment. They call it fun employment.
Okay, sure.
So you're having fun while being unemployed. That's the journey where you're trying to find yourself and figure out what you want.
I feel like this particular segment might cost both of us our jobs. So I think we should move on to the next thing.
I'm gonna be fun employed soon.
No, don't say that. Choi. Touch wood lah. Cannot be like that lah. Hey, someone, this is completely off topic.
Yeah, go.
But someone told me that Singles Inferno is I know, like super off topic. I know we're talking about budget and everything, but there's a link.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They told me that Singles Inferno is renewing a season. Do you watch the show? I didn't know what it was.
I only just watched season 5 because my friends told me to. So it's my first season I've ever watched.
So talk me through what it's about. So this is what couples go on an island.
No, so they're not couples. They're all singles. They're eligible singles that go into this island called Inferno.
Yeah.
And they are they don't know each other, and they have to try to get to know each other. And the big part of Inferno is you're not allowed to tell them your age or your job, which is in Korea is quite a big important part, because they talk about age gaps a lot and what they do for work.
This is a Korean show. Someone told me Singles Inferno has a new season, and I'm like, what's that? I don't know. I'm married. It's extinguished. There's no Inferno going on anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's very...
But that is not true. Rishi's wife, there is still some flame there. There's a spark.
I don't know. Okay. So I set that whole thing up just to do that one joke. So let's move on now. Come. Such a waste of footage. If this was just testing material here, okay? Come. So you can easily cut that out from the main episode if you want. On the last episode, your colleague Drew talked about how potentially this year's budget will be a bit more conservative, and we might get less payouts and everything. Has that prophecy come true?
Sadly for Drew, he is right. Sadly for him, because I don't like it when Drew's right. But anyway, eligible Singaporeans will receive $200 to $400 in cash in a cost of living special payment in September 2026. But USave rebates are going up. They will receive up to $570 in USave rebates in 2026, which will help with utility expenses.
Explain USave rebates.
As someone who doesn't own a house.
So it's purely utility related.
Yeah, it's utility bills. So it helps offset some of your utility bills, especially when increase in carbon tax and all that. So that is very helpful for homeowners, and for me, it would be my parents. I say for me, would be my parents, even though I actually moved out of the house, but still.
Okay, man. We don't
I'm still thinking about my parents. Make sure they are taken care of.
This isn't a therapy session. I mean, I wish I could help you with those issues, but I think you need to tell me what's next.
No, okay, yeah, sorry. But to be fair, this other thing will benefit you. All Singaporean households will also receive $500 in CDC vouchers in January 2027.
Fair. Good.
And it will again be the same where half of it will be spent in supermarkets, the other half will be at other local participants as well.
Do you think Singaporeans like complaining about the budget, regardless of what it is?
I think it's a quintessential part of our culture, complaining.
Okay.
We are usually not happy
Yeah.
because we are so used to high standards
Mhm.
and because we know that we deserve such high standards.
I'll tell you a true story.
Mm?
Okay, yesterday,
Mm.
right? I met this an audience member at my show, and this family is fairly well off,
Mhm.
right? Very private property and decent job, a little bit of generational wealth as well. I'm giving away too much here, but okay, so this person comes up to me, is like, "Yeah, Rishi, did you see the budget?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, we heard about it. We're gonna do a bit of it on the show." And he's like, "Yeah, really underwhelming budget this year." I'm like, "Bro, what are you complaining about? Which of your Lexuses are gonna have a problem right now with the budget?"
No, but I do understand where some Singaporeans come from when they look at payouts, like they're always just being given vouchers and all that. I do understand like some parts where it's like there's just so much of these vouchers coming out when we have more tangible stuff that we're worried about. Cost of living is a thing, but these vouchers are all one-off payments. It's more like what they wish or hope the government is going to do to address it in the long run over than just short-term vouchers.
What would that be? I mean, if you had to fathom a guess, I've got things in my head.
I
as
mean,
well.
the
Yeah.
biggest one has always been GST hike because it's still 9%. There is still the eventuality that will go up to 10%.
Mhm.
So that's the thing that will set people like on the edge of their seat because I didn't realize that how much GST the increase has impacted me. It's like when I go out, I'm looking at my bill going like, okay, that takes out a big chunk of of like whatever I'm buying. So that makes it just a little bit on edge.
I'm not sure if this is a generational thing again, but at some point, what I felt, and this is personally, and in people I speak to and my circles as well, I think up till today, there's a sense that home ownership and land prices and real
That
estate
too.
prices is something that is, if you aspire to own a home in this country, that is your biggest expense.
Yes.
If you so have that dream. I don't know if the generations after me have that same dream. I don't know if the Gen Zs or the elder millennials. Are you elder millennial? I don't know. Younger millennial.
I'm elder Gen Z.
Elder Gen Z. Sorry,
Yeah.
I apologize for mislabeling you.
It's okay. I'm chill with it.
Okay, thanks.
But I think you're like so worried I'm gonna get cancelled by these Gen Zs and
Don't wanna get-
millennials.
Sorry. I really didn't mean that. Okay.
But I think home ownership is still an aspiration because we always we want to move out and live with our partners and all that. But it feels like we're either jumping in too early and we're committing to this one person who actually may not be the right ones for us, but we've committed to a BTO. So what then? And then you think about not just losing a house, you also lose some money from this. And it's not just, and then you just have this reminder, it's like, not only did I fail at a relationship, I failed at getting a house.
Do you know of anyone who?
I do know people personally who got into their relationship, they got a BTO and they got married, and then in the end it's not working out for them. And now the house is a big issue because you have your minimum occupancy period and all that. So it is a concern, and we feel that if we wait too late to find a partner, then we kind of lose out in the BTO game. So it's just our anxiety comes from not knowing, putting all our eggs in one basket, literally.
Yeah. No, I know of people like that as well.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll do you one better. I know a couple going out together in university, put on a down payment for a BTO, and then broke up before they got married.
Yeah.
So you lose that down payment.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So it's such a big risk because if you think about it, in university, none of us are earning that much money to be able to afford a down payment. So it is just setting us all back, and you just make yourself more anxious. And it doesn't help that all the property prices are rising as well.
So that's actually, you've landed on a really good point, Hannah, because I know you mentioned GST, I know you mentioned cost of living, but I think like if I had to fathom a guess, given Singaporean aspirations are still, even for younger generations, to become homeowners at some point, I think if there was a way for real estate prices to kind of be maintained, or not even maintained, like,
Regulated?
managed, regulated in a way that doesn't keep going crazy.
Yeah. And more for our single friends as well, because you know what? Some of us, it's just the life that they want because they just want to be singles and it's fine.
Yep.
They don't have anyone. The singles age right now is 35.
Yep.
Maybe we can maybe that's something that people are looking at, the lowering of that age. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Singles Inferno, new season on Netflix. You see how we brought that back? You see how we brought that back? Huh?
In a HDB flat.
We told you it's all linked. Okay, this show is not some flaky, random ass show. Okay, it's got proper, real.
Needed a map for that, but we got there.
We got there. Okay. Was there anything else in the budget that stuck out?
I think like the last thing that really stuck out to me and that was announced was PM Wong saying that effective from February 12th, a 20% increase in tobacco across all tobacco products.
Okay.
Tobacco excise duty, which means anything that's imported and made in Singapore.
You know, no wonder that the yellow boxes were also full, man. The smokers are looking super anxious, like okay, no hate. If you smoke, no problem. I'll tell you something ignorant, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Someone said, right, okay lah, cigarette more expensive. At least the smokers can use their CDC voucher to buy more cigarette, okay? But that's obviously a noob statement.
Yep.
It's a CDC voucher noob. Because if you don't know, CDC voucher can't be used for alcohol and cigarettes, right? I found out the hard way.
Were you trying to purchase cigarettes?
No, I wasn't even. Okay, well, true story. Okay, when this all kind of came up, CDC vouchers, what was the first year of CDC vouchers?
So the CDC voucher scheme was first introduced by the former Finance Minister Heng Swee Keat in June 2020 to help lower-income Singaporean households defray their cost of living while also supporting hawkers and heartland merchants affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. This didn't directly have anything to do with the East Coast plan. I don't think. It was then expanded to all Singaporeans in 2021, and since then, they've been given out every year and to all Singaporean households. You should know about this because you've been using them, right?
So, true story, it was an exciting time, right? You're getting these vouchers and all that. And there's that sticker where you see outside the supermarket going, CDC vouchers accepted here. In my neighborhood, I saw that sticker for the first time. I saw, CDC vouchers accepted here. I rock up to the place and I said, Auntie, here can use CDC vouchers. Auntie was doing something. She looks up at me and goes, for alcohol and cigarettes, cannot. I'm like, whoa.
Whoa, Auntie. What is this typecasting you're doing?
I mean, it was like 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, I'm not here to... So yeah, that was how I found out. Like this is...
Maybe she felt your pain.
I don't know, but it was horrible.
Yeah.
I had to pay for my beer in cash. It was just so silly. I mean, it was COVID. Come on. It was COVID. Relax, okay? Don't do these kind of things now, okay? Day drinking is not a good thing. These are all jokes, by the way. I mean, say first, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not an alcoholic who drinks like beer at 9 o'clock in the morning. Wait until at least 9:30 a.m. So that was our show this week of the top stories on the Mothership podcast. We'll be taking a break for Chinese New Year next week because that's what Indians do. We take a break. That's what Eurasians and Indians do. We take a break during Chinese New Year, and we'll be back the following week with a new episode. See you soon.